It's officially playoff time for Michigan. Gotta win out to have a shot at the top four. They go on the road to Happy Valley in an 11 a.m. kickoff on ABC. Hey everybody, Big Ten Ted coming at you here today for this game preview. Michigan, number 7 before the playoff rankings, going on the road to Penn State. Okay, so when I look at this matchup, Penn State had a lot of promise there for a while, didn't they? Right? They were top 10 before the Iowa game. And the Iowa game just kind of messed everything up, right? Clifford got hurt, and then it appears they brought him back too soon in the game against Illinois, and it's kind of taken him a few games to kind of get into the rhythm. And boy, did he get into rhythm late against that Maryland game. Jahan Dotson had a huge game over 240 yards. Clifford threw 3 touchdowns, no picks, over 350 yards. So maybe it just kind of took him a few games to kind of get back to where he should have been. But let's talk about this matchup as Michigan goes on the road to State College. We'll see if Blake Corum is able to go. He carried it one time for 4 yards against Indiana, got hurt, and he was in a boot later on in that game. So, if Blake Corum is not ready to go, how does that affect things for the University of Michigan? All right, let's talk about it. Now, instead of Hassan Haskins kind of being that power guy, short yardage guy, sub-in guy, now he's the main guy. Okay? I believe Michigan, the reason why they've been so successful is the balance between Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins is sometimes both guys go over 100, and it's the balance between the thunder and the lightning, so to speak, that makes Michigan very difficult to defend each and every single week. And then Cade McNamara can make things happen over the top when those two guys were running the football. Now that it's the Thunder, now that it's Hassan Haskins only, potentially, Jim Harbaugh said the injury doesn't appear to be too serious. So we'll see if this is even an issue. But if it is an issue and Corum is not ready to go and it's Haskins only, I still believe Michigan can run the ball. I just don't see them busting off a bunch of big plays because I believe they feed on each other and off of each other so much, and it's difficult to defend for defenses when you have the threat of both guys, coming in one play and then the other on the other play. I definitely think Haskins, he can go over 100, right? If there's one thing that I've seen about this Penn State defense is right now they're having trouble stopping the run. Okay, you look at their last 3 games. Maryland, they don't run the ball. Throw them out. Taulia Tagovailoa threw it, 57 times in that game against Penn State. Look at the Ohio State game. Look at the Illinois game. The Illinois game, right, they went over for 200 yards in that game, that 9 overtime game. And then Ohio State, Travion Henderson rushed for over 150. So there's no doubt about it. Even if Blake Corum is not able to go, even if it's only Hassan Haskins, Haskins a guy that can run for 125 and a score. He's a guy that can carry the load at running back. They're going to need some depth if Corum's not able to go. They're going to need somebody else to step up behind Hassan Haskins in this game. I don't think it matters. Michigan's going to be able to run the ball behind that front, and as I just established, Penn State is not good defending the running game in this one. So Michigan's going to be able to get it going. Now, let's talk about when Penn State has the football. We talked about Sean Clifford a little bit earlier. Okay, this team can't run the ball. Whether it's Kevon Lee, whether it's Noah Cain, nothing. Okay, they're not even getting close to 100-yard rushers, really, in any of these games. The last 2 weeks, Sean Clifford has thrown 99 pass attempts. One more, and we could add a cool 100. Right? They want to throw it, and really they're only using the running game just so there's some illusion of balance in their offense. Okay? So now that we know Penn State wants to throw the ball, okay, how does Michigan combat this? Well, Michigan's got a pretty darn good pass rush. Ross, and of course, Aiden Hutchinson coming off the edge. That offensive line for Penn State hasn't been great this season. So if I'm Michigan, I'm dialing up the pressure. Heat it up, bring the blitz as often as I can. Because when Clifford is able to sit back there and he's able to throw it, specifically to Jahan Dotson, I believe Penn State's a one-dimensional offense. That dimension is Sean Clifford throwing the ball to Jahan Dotson. Okay, good things happen when they're able to make a connection. They need time. Clifford needs time. Usually Dotson likes to work down the field, and those routes take time to develop. Michigan, bring the pressure, get Clifford running around so those routes don't have time to develop comfortably for Penn State. I think that's a big thing that Michigan needs to do. Bring that pressure. Get into the face of Sean Clifford. Force him to throw to other guys. Lock down Dotson. I think I've said this on a preview before. Lock down Jahan Dotson and you'll be okay. And good things will happen for a defense, in this case, the University of Michigan. You know, it seems like we're getting to a trajectory where Michigan and Ohio State last week of the season could be for the East Division title. But if Michigan is looking ahead, it wouldn't surprise me for Penn State to do what they do. If they can get rid of the ball quickly, they can get that passing game and that rhythm going early, maybe force a turnover, and maybe it plays into their favor that quorum's not there. There are some scenarios where Penn State can come out quick. Where's James Franklin head at? Right? Each and every single week, we hear about Franklin, LSU, we hear about USC. You know what we never hear about, it seems? James Franklin and Penn State. Okay? If they're focused, if they're playing well, and if they're executing, yeah, they got a chance to win. But, you know, those 3 straight losses, struggling 3 quarters, that was a 1-possession game against the Maryland Terrapins. Okay? This Penn State team has not really played well the second half of the season. If their head is in the game, sure, they could have a chance, but their head's got to be in the game. I definitely think Michigan has the advantage. Whether Corum plays or not, this is a Michigan team that can see. They can see the playoff ahead of them. Right? Ohio State beats Michigan State late. Michigan beats Ohio State. They get into the Big Ten championship. They could have a national championship type of opportunity getting into the college football playoff. I want to know what you guys think. Is Penn State primed for an upset? They're going to get it together. Is Clifford finally getting his feet under him after that injury? Or is Michigan going to roll with their running game? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe to Big Ten Ted. We're almost at 500. Thank you to each and every one of you Big Ten fans for joining the crew. I'm Big Ten Ted. We'll see you in the next one.